Hey, what's going on, my friends out there? I'm Jakejames Lugo, and welcome to Gamers with Gains. Now let's talk about Metroid Prime Federation Force for the Nintendo 3DS. Not too long ago, Nintendo sent me the game to actually review for thecoalition.com, and if you want to check out my whole full written review of the game, go to the link in the description box below. It goes directly to it. It shows you my whole entire written review and my official final score that I put for the game. Now, let's talk about this for a second. There's a lot to kind of like cover with Metroid Prime Federation Force. You can't talk about this game without acknowledging the reception that it got when it was first revealed way back when. I believe it was E3 or PAX East when the game was first officially revealed. And then it was shown off and demoed at a bunch of other successive events leading up to the release, a couple of which I was actually there for and actually got to play the game early before anybody else. And then they had the Blast Ball demo that was on the eShops, and I played that and I generated my own thoughts about it. But what I want to talk about is the reception of this game where everybody, or at least a good chunk of people, whether it's Nintendo fans or Metroid fans or just YouTubers or people in general that just wanted to jump on this bandwagon of kind of like hate and kind of dismissiveness of Federation Force simply on the fact that it wasn't a quote-unquote true Metroid Prime game, and that it wasn't a game because it didn't star Samus as the main heroine, or at least the main kind of focus of the story or who you played as, that automatically was going to be bad by default. And I think that's unfair, and I think that's kind of a shame because a lot of people out there were kind of being either misinformed or they were just kind of like jumping on the bandwagon of a lot of people. It was like the in thing, or the in kind of like, you know, the fad to hate on Metroid Prime Federation Force. Now let's be real for a second. Federation Force is not a perfect game. It definitely has its own issues, and I talk about that in my full written review on the Coalition. I think that there's some stuff that they did pretty well, that introducing new ideas and concepts to the Metroid universe, as well as expanding upon the universe of the Metroid Prime series itself, but they still had some problems with the game that are primarily, you know, big issues that hopefully could be ironed out in the sequel. But I digress. Let's get into some of these, you know, about this game. The game is 4-player co-op enabled. You could be able to play it locally, was it through either download, share play, or with a couple other people that have Metroid Prime Federation Force, and you can play it online, and then as well as also solo. There's about 22 missions in general, 3 different planets, about 10 or so, a little bit under 10 per planet, like that. The missions vary in the different types of objectives you have to do, whether it's destroy a target, defend a certain thing, go grab a specific item and bring it back to an extraction point. There's a bunch of different stuff you could do, as well as the traditional boss fights that the Metroid series is really much known for, which is pretty cool. Now, one thing I will also say, Samus does make an appearance in this game. There's a couple different instances where she shows up, where she's referenced to, or that she actually helps you out during the course of your missions. And there's a couple other spoilery things that I'm not going to get into. I'm pretty sure you can find it on the internet if you want to, or again, just play the game and you'll see it. But overall, Metroid Prime Federation Force is a decent game. It is not terrible by any means of the imagination. I know there's been a couple people out there saying that this game is garbage, and it's totally not true. At the same time, there's also a bunch of other people on the flip side of that that are getting caught up on hyperbole, saying that the game is phenomenal, that it's a dark horse for the Metroid Prime series. It's something that completely, you know, surprised everybody. And while it is surprising in its own right with how much it actually introduces that's good to the Metroid series, it is definitely not a perfect game. It is not a phenomenal game by any stretch of the imagination. If you're a Metroid fan or you like the Metroid Prime series, I definitely recommend that you do check it out, because some of the different concepts of co-op multiplayer, some of the extra types of stuff with the shooting, and just the idea of like getting away from Samus' story and kind of like, you know, looking at stuff from the perspective of the Galactic Federation or any other characters in the Metroid universe, I think is really good. It shows that, again, the Metroid universe is much more expansive. You could get away from Samus. There's other things to kind of look and focus on within this universe of characters that Nintendo has. So it's definitely not something that's bad by any means of the imagination. It's definitely something that, you know, a lot of 3DS owners I feel like should play. I played this on an old 3DS with the kind of, you know, Circle Pad Pro, but also obviously you have the little nub on the new Nintendo 3DS, which kind of, you know, serves the same purpose as the Circle Pad Pro. And there's 2 different control schemes for this. You have a Metroid Prime kind of like traditional, where again you use the left shoulder button to kind of like target stuff, kind of like if you were playing Metroid Prime on the GameCube. At least that's the best comparison I could draw to. Or with the second analog stick on the Circle Pad Pro or the nub, you could play it like, you know, any other modern day shooter, which is good. Again, there's options there for you to use. I prefer the latter rather than the former because it was more comfortable for me with the older style Nintendo 3DS. But anyway, to kind of wrap things up, because I know I'm going a little bit long here, Metroid Prime Federation Force is a decent game. It's not a black sheep on the Metroid series. It doesn't insult fans. It doesn't leave a black spot on the legacy of the Metroid franchise from Nintendo. I think that Nintendo's got something here. They're onto something that's definitely interesting, and I definitely want to see a sequel to Federation Force to see what other things that they could do outside of the actual story of Samus Aran. So Anyway, guys, that's just my thoughts on Metroid Prime Federation Force. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. If you guys are interested in Federation Force, if you're not, do you think this is good for the Metroid series or it's bad? Whatever you guys might have, or whatever you might stand on this game, leave it down below in the comment section below. Don't forget, I am streaming also every single day on Twitch TV. I'm playing a variety of different games. I've been playing a lot of Pokken Tournament, played the Titanfall 2 multiplayer demo, played a whole bunch of other stuff. Again, we played a little bit Uncharted, we played some Overwatch recently. It was a lot of fun. We've been getting some pretty fun chats, so I encourage you guys, again, every single weekday between 5 and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to come check out the Twitch stream when I go live. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget to leave me a like on this video and subscribe to the Gamers with Gains channel for all my videos related to video games, stronger living, films, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. And also, just to kind of throw it out there, again, I'll probably leave a link to this in the description box below as well. I talked to the director of Kingsglaive Final Fantasy 15 not too long ago, talked about the film, how it relates to the game that's coming out in November, as well as a whole bunch of other cool stuff that you guys, if you're a Final Fantasy fan or if you're just interested in FF15, you're going to not want to miss it out. It's over on thecoalition.com. Again, links in the description box below. I will talk to all of you guys again real soon. Peace out. Stay epic, everybody.